All right, welcome everybody. This is your host, Vishon Borich, for our weekly Down and Dirty at 1:30 Central. And for those of you that are new to this hangout, I do these every Monday at 1:30 Central. And the purpose or the vision that I had for this weekly hangout is to share with you the tips that I've learned over time in order to build a successful business and a successful life. And I try to keep it really compressed and really tight. I don't like these to go much over 30 minutes. Sometimes they do go about an hour just if we've got some really meaty content, but I like to keep them tight because to me, it's important to you. We all have valuable time, and time is the one commodity that each one of us has that we all have control over to a limited extent. And I say limited because you don't know how long you're going to live. So if you're letting others monopolize your time, you basically are giving away a piece of your life every time you do that. So if you start looking at time in that way, it can really change your life. All right, so I hope you're ready because today's topic is on, are your daily habits killing your success? So I know it's some strong language there, but here's the thing that I found is that a lot of people really want to be wealthy or they really want to be successful. And those aren't necessarily the same things. You need to know the difference. But whatever it is that you want, whatever your big dream is, oftentimes we do things in our daily lives that are literally killing our chances of ever being successful. So today's hangout is all about unearthing those habits that are causing you to not reach your potential and to replace those with some more positive habits and perhaps a new mindset that'll help get you back on track and get you unstuck if that's where you are right now and get you focused on the things that are going to lead you to your success and to your dreams. So I'm going to pull up something that I recently found, and this is something that was posted on the internet. It's an article and it's an infographic. I'm going to actually flip my screen around so we can review it together because I really found this infographic valuable. I'm trying to make it as big as I can without, and I know I haven't flipped my screen around yet, but give me a moment here. I'm just getting everything ready for you to look at. Okay. Here we go. We're flipping. All right. Okay, some of you may have seen this infographic, but this really is amazing. It's a great graphic, and I will post this on a blog post here today, later today. So if you want a copy of this infographic, go to toughmamablog.com, and I'll get that posted here this afternoon so you can access it. So this is cool. One of the things that I read on this infographic is there are 6 things that billionaires do daily. There's a lot of good information here, so I'll go through some of the high points, and I specifically want to get into those 6 points because this can help you if you have some habits that aren't productive to your success. So one of the things I want to just point out, and this is from the 2013 world figures on US dollars, but I thought this was fascinating. In the world, there are over 31, almost 32 million millionaires in the world. So, to me, that's a lot of people that are considered millionaires. And then look at this, the big number, the big kids club, the billionaire club. There are 1,426 billionaires in the world. So it's a very small figure, and the figures that come, I mean, the information that comes from this infographic has to do with the habits of billionaires. And to me, that's who I want to emulate, because obviously if they were able to make billions of dollars with these habits, just by us mimicking the success of these people, then we can help change our life and be even more successful than we are. Okay, so I'm going to just scroll down here on this graphic, and hopefully you can see it. If you need to make the video, the Hangout full screen, it might help. And again, I'll post this to the blog. So one of the main things that I noticed is that they all have a routine that they follow. And there are 6 things that are part of their routine. So the first thing is that these wealthy people, they maintain a to-do list. Now, check out this graphic. This shows, the black line shows what wealthy people do, and the white line shows what poor, or underprivileged folks do. So to me, look at the difference. So in general, underprivileged folks, they are not maintaining a daily to-do list. They're just letting life pull them whatever direction it pulls them, or they're letting somebody else decide what they need to do each day. So if you're not making your own to-do list on a daily basis, then you're not following an important habit that's going to lead you to success, and it's led these people to success as well. So maintain a to-do list. Number 2, they wake up 3+ hours before work. Now, obviously, it depends on what you do. If you work for yourself, you decide when your workday starts, right? That's what I love about what I do for a living, and I typically start my day around 8 a.m. But I am up at least by 6. And this is influencing me here that, that they wake up on average 3+ hours before they start work. So they're planning their day. They're planning their to-do list. They're probably getting healthy, because if you look at this other graphic over here, the wealthy are also healthy. They exercise aerobically 4 days a week, 4+ days a week. So, they're probably getting up and doing that. And that's great. That's really important, because you can't live out your best self if you have poor health, right? The third thing that they do is they listen to audiobooks during their commute. If you don't have a commute, like you work for yourself, like I work out of my home most days, then, I listen to audios while I'm working. I also listen to it while I'm working out. So this is a great thing that you can do, is listening to positive audiobooks that are going to help take you to the next level in your life. The other thing they do is they network 5+ hours or more each month. So networking means getting in front of other people, meeting other people. Even if you work out of your own home, it's important to get out and be a part of your community. For me, I joined the Chamber of Commerce here in my local area, and I try to get out to at least one of their events a month. After reading this, I'm going to try to get out more often, so that I can meet even more people and just sharing what I have. Now, you can also network online. There are a lot of ways that you can do that via social media. But I find that one-on-one personal or group interactions with people of all walks of life is really a much better way, because you're building relationships and you're creating friendships there that can help each other, and you'll find new partnerships that'll help lead you to success. The other thing they do, the fourth thing, that's the fifth, is they read 30+ minutes or more each day. Check it out. They're reading daily. And this is something I began doing when I joined this business. And I admit, before I had my own business, I was not reading very often. I had lots of excuses. I'm sure anybody can make excuses as to why you're not doing things that are positive for your life. But I found that when I read on a daily basis, number one, it helps motivate me and prevents me from getting stuck. For those of you that are stuck and really thriving to be successful, but you're feeling like you're not getting anywhere and your wheels are just turning, then you need to read more. And you also need to listen to those audios. And by reading more, just get that 30 minutes in. You can carve that out of your day, I guarantee it. So get that in there. The other thing that they do, they love to read in general. So not only do they read 30 minutes or more each day, they found that they really love to read. And to me, that is so important, because you're going to be more motivated to read if you love to do it. And I'll be honest with you, when I first started, I like to read, but I can't say that I loved it. It wasn't until I started reading things that really were self-improvement type books and business related books that helped me to improve my business that I began seeing that I really do love to read. So it really comes down to reading the right things. If you're just reading a romance novel or something like that, you may not get the same benefits. Actually, I know you won't get the same benefits as if you read some self-improvement or self-development type book. Okay, there's a lot more on this chart, but the other thing I wanted to point out before I go to some other topics is their television habits. Check out the wealthy. The wealthy is in the black line. And let me see if I can make this bigger. Their television habits, they watch 1 hour or less every day. So check this out. Over 50% of the wealthy watch 1 hour or less per day. And I can tell you for my own personal habits, I do not really watch television hardly at all anymore. Like, and it's funny, the television is going in our house because I have kids and they like to watch stuff on TV. But when they're watching stuff on TV, I'm usually doing stuff on my computer, or I'm reading a book, or I'm doing something like that. So a lot of times they'll ask me, you know, if I saw something on the television when they were watching it, because I'm in the same room, and I always say, I'm sorry I missed it, but I'm not really watching the show. So, you know, you have to choose what's going to help you to be more successful. And I can tell you right now, the black box, as they call it, your television set, is not going to make you healthier, happier, or wealthier. So, you know, cut out the things that aren't going to do that in your life, and you'll find that you start getting out of that rut. Look at this, though. This blows my mind, too. The wealthy, almost 0% watch reality TV. They could care less about reality TV. They make their own reality, right? Whereas the underprivileged or poor, I don't like to use the word poor, but they typically watch, over 75% of them watch reality TV. So that should tell you something right there. Success leaves clues. And to me, I want to follow the path of success. I don't want to follow the path that leads to, you know, pain and underprivilege and just having a hard time in my life. So I'm going to flip it back around here because we're kind of done looking at that. All right, there we go. Okay, so with that said, what I'd like you to consider, what are your daily habits? And if you aren't really sure, maybe you know, sometimes you lose track of time. Let's just be honest here. Sometimes you're doing something, you think you're working hard, you think you're taking your business to the next level, but in reality, you're doing things throughout the day that are not productive to your success. So let's give you a few examples. Perhaps you are scrolling around on Facebook. You know, you're looking at different things on Facebook, and you think that because we're in the marketing business, that you're actually marketing yourself. Well, take an honest evaluation of yourself. Are you actually going on Facebook to market your business, product, or service? Or are you out there checking on everybody else, chatting with people, doing things like that, or watching videos and things like that, rather than actually marketing? Now, granted, I know it's an easy escape. It's nice sometimes just to catch up with friends. Set time aside to do that. But if you're actually on the clock, your own personal clock for your business, then don't be screwing around on Facebook, okay? Get out there, do what you need to do, and then get off. Even shut it down so that you aren't sucking up your time doing things that aren't necessary. And the same goes for YouTube. I use YouTube all the time to research things. If I'm trying to figure out something new, something technical that I don't know how to do, I will go out to YouTube, find a video that'll teach me how to do it. But it's easy to get sucked in because YouTube has all kinds of other videos that they suggest that you want to watch. So it's easy to get sucked in and blow a bunch of time when you should be just going out there and getting what you need in order to be successful. The same thing goes for television. How much television are you really watching per day? Or how many movies are you watching? You know, what are other habits that you have that are taking away from your success? So here's what I suggest you do, is you go and, you know, monitor yourself for a few days. Actually write down the start time and the end time in which you are doing certain habits, or write down everything that you did for the next few days. And then look at that list at the end and write, you know, look at the times that you were watching television, look at the times in which you were playing around on Facebook or messing with your phone and text messaging people, and see what you can cut out. Because once you realize where you're burning up time, it's going to make it so much easier for you to turn that around and start using that time more wisely and taking yourself to that next level. Okay? All right. So I'm not saying that you don't want to ever watch television again, or you don't want to ever, see all your friends again. That's not what I'm saying at all. I want to be really clear. I'm just saying that sometimes we do too much of something that's not productive for our life and our health, and we're imbalanced. And that imbalanced part of our life is what causes us to be stuck and to not be a success. So let's get it in balance. All right, so here's one thing, one habit that absolutely kills your progress. You ready? That's procrastination. All right, so if you have some big tasks that you know have to be done today, make sure that you do that first thing in the morning. Okay, I don't care if you're a morning person or you're an evening person. When you have big tasks, like 2 or 3 big tasks that you absolutely must get done in a day, schedule them for the morning and block off your schedule. Turn off any alerts, or even turn off your phone if you need to, and get those done during the morning, so that way it's just done. You can do all the other little things that you need to do. But that procrastination is what kills most people's progress. Is, maybe it's too hard, maybe it seems too hard, and so therefore you don't put effort into getting it done. And you work on all the little projects that you have that you also need to get done, but they aren't the thing that's moving your life forward. So take time to really evaluate that. And what I like to do is the night before is I make a list of my top 3 priorities for the next day. Okay, these priorities, one is usually business related, one is personal related, and the other one could be business or personal. Okay, but what I'm trying to do is just find 3 big tasks that are going to move my life forward in a positive way, that I can accomplish the next day and feel good that I did what was necessary to be successful. Okay, and by doing that, I know that I'm taking steps in the right direction, that I'm not just going through my day and then wondering, why am I not working on my business, or why am I not spending enough time with my family or my kids? Because sometimes those things conflict. But if you schedule them on your calendar every day, then you know that you have set time for that. So when your son or your daughter comes over to you and says, hey, let's go out and let's throw a frisbee around or something like that, you know that you have time scheduled for that, and you can work with them and say, look, we have it on our schedule to do that. Now, I know that's not always possible, but I can tell you with my own sons that they've learned that I have set times in which they can't bother me. Like right now, let's take this for example. My sons are upstairs. They're watching a cartoon on television because my office is in, I have a walkout basement here. And so they are upstairs. Now, before I got on this down and dirty call, I told them, I said, on Mondays, I have a call from this time until this time. And I said, during that time frame, you guys can go play outside, or you can, watch a movie, or you can do something like that. But I said, you cannot interrupt me at all unless somebody's bleeding, somebody's seriously injured, or, somebody's at the door. I said, if any of those things happen, then of course come and get me, but do not interrupt me otherwise. And they know that. And so we have boundaries, and vice versa. When I'm playing with them, like for instance, we were going to go and jump on a trampoline today. We have house sitting for a neighbor, and we were going to go and jump on a trampoline. So we scheduled some time today to go and do that together. And I told them, I said, I will turn my phone off, and I will not be on my phone at all or interrupting our time together when we're out there playing on the trampoline together. And so that's important because we have that give and take, and it helps us to stay focused and to not have that tension of being stuck and not moving my business because other things are pulling me, or being stuck that I'm spending so much time with my family that I'm not working on my business. Okay, I hope this is helping you, because it really helped me once I put this into place into my life. All right, so procrastination, busy. You want to make sure you do those things in the morning. Okay, I'm looking at my notes here. Okay, here's something else that really helped me in my habits and getting getting my life on track and getting my business on track. And that is compressing time. Now you're probably wondering, what on earth is that? Well, compressing time is finding blocks of time in which you can complete other things at the same time. So here's an example. I like to do martial arts. I like to work out and things like that. So one of the things that I know that I want to do every day is read a book, right? So what I do is, and for 30 minutes, I make sure that if I'm going to work out at the house or whatever, that I put in my earbuds and put my book on tape. So I've told you this before, but I use Audible. It's a great little app for your iPhone. I think they have it for Android phones as well. And I actually listen to my books because I found that in listening to the books, I can accomplish two things at once, even more than two things. So that's a way of compressing time, is by having that I can work out, be listening to my book, get my 30 minutes of workout in, get my 30 minutes of reading in, all at the same time. So that's a way to compress time. Another thing that I do is that a lot of times when I am going to be on a phone call that I need to be on, or if I know that, I've got some other projects to work on, I know that one of the big time sucks for me on my computer is uploading videos, because I do a lot of video. I really enjoy shooting video, and it takes a while. I live in a rural community, so my internet speed is not the fastest, okay? So it takes a while to upload these videos. So what I do is I get a whole bunch of them ready to go, and you can batch upload in YouTube. I don't know if you knew that. And so I will get them all ready to go, and I will be uploading them on my computer. And in the meantime, while they're uploading, I'm working on some other stuff that I needed to get done. Like, maybe I have, some paperwork that I had printed out that I needed to get done and written and stuff like that. Or maybe I have some of my martial arts business stuff that I need to get done. So I'll be working on that, just with, filling out documentation and things like that. So now I'm compressing time by doing two things at once. Now, I don't recommend splitting your focus too many directions, because I'm a firm believer that in reality, most of us cannot multitask successfully. I know there's a lot of businesses out there that really want people to be multitaskers. Well, to me, if you're multitasking all the time, you're never really focused on one thing, and you're never going to be really good at anything. So I do believe in focusing on one thing at a time. I'm just saying that if there are things you can do that that don't require a lot of brain power, and you can do something else at the same time, then what it's going to do is it's going to allow you to accomplish more in your day than you could before. Okay, I hope this is making sense. I wanted to give you one more example, and I like to go through trainings as well. One of the things I do, my hair is bothering me today. One of the things that I do is that I actually like to speed up videos. And there's a nice little app that I have. Let me see if I can pull it up here really quick. I'm just looking to see what it's called. Okay, it's called, I think it's Net Video Hunter. No, that's a different app. That's a good one too. If you're looking for a really great app for Firefox that'll help you download video, Net Video Hunter is a really good one. I'm trying to find the one that, anyhow, I'll think of it here in a minute. There's a lot of apps out there, or plugins that you can plug into your actual computer. Oh, here it is. It's Video Speed Controller. Video Speed Controller is a plugin for Google Chrome, and what that does is it actually allows you to speed up videos. So when I listen to trainings or recordings, a lot of times I will wait until a recording comes out for some live trainings. I will listen to it via this video speed controller, so I can bump it up to like twice the speed and still get the meat of the information. And in doing that, it allows me to basically take an hour-long training and get it all digested in 30 minutes or less. So that's huge. That's a great way to compress time. Now, I can't do that with everything. Like, some trainings are really note intensive, so I need to take a lot of notes. So I can't do it for everything. But for a lot of things, I can. And that has really helped me to find more time in my day. Okay? I hope that I hope that you really are getting some value out of this. If you are getting value out of this training, please comment below, because I do read those, and I will comment as soon as I get done with this Hangout. So make sure that you log into the chat roll, comment as you can, say hello at least, so I know you're out there. All right, so I wanted to, at the last part of this training, or Down and Dirty today, I wanted specifically to talk about something that really inspired me and changed my mindset. And that is, it's not about the money, okay? I know a lot of you are thinking, oh yeah, sure, you're in business because you want to make a lot of money. That's why you're doing this internet thing. Well, at first, yes, I admit that every one of us, when we first go into business, you're doing it because you want to make a decent amount of money. Ideally, you want to make enough so that you don't have to worry about money again, right? Well, I want to share something with you, and that is, the more you're in business, the longer you're in business, and once you start making money, you realize that the money is not what's important in your life. What's important are two things: your happiness, number one, and number two is the value that you're providing to the world. What is it that you are giving back? What's your legacy that you're leaving to the world? And the reason I wanted to talk about that is because this is going to help you with your daily habits. Because if you are currently in a job situation or a lack of a job situation, and you're just looking to make money or get a paycheck, then I want to ask you, are you improving? Are you leaving a legacy with that? What are you showing other people by just getting a paycheck or just doing any old business to make a dime? You're not showing them anything. And most of all, you're not going to buy yourself happiness by doing that. And life is so much bigger than that. And I'm hoping if you're listening to this, you know that. But if you don't, if you're just watching this because you're like, okay, I want to learn from Vishon on how I can make a ton of money online, then I may not be the best mentor for you, because to me, life is, it's more than that. It's more than money. It's more about how you can improve the world and how you can find happiness yourself. So I want to share this story with you because it really kind of it changed my mind about a lot of things. And this happened to me years ago. It was actually when I was pregnant with my youngest son, Jack. He's now, let's see, he'll be 7 this year. He's 6. Time flies. Anyhow, I was about 7 months pregnant with Jack. And so this has been a while ago. I've been back in 2008. And during that time, I was working for corporate America. And I was in a very high pressure position in which I really felt like, my time, all of my time belonged to the work. And so I rarely asked for time off. In fact, even with my first son, I didn't even take maternity leave, okay? Because at the time I was working out of my home, and even through that company, they allowed me to work out of my home. So I did not even take maternity leave. And so the reason I'm sharing this with you is because I was so driven to be successful, I forgot what was really important. And so when I was pregnant with Jack, I was getting ready to, after the pregnancy, there a few months later was my sister's wedding, and I was going to be in the wedding. Great timing, right? And I had this mole that was on my arm, on this arm, and it was just really tiny little mole. And for vanity purposes, because it was going to be a sleeveless gown for the wedding, I decided I was going to get that mole removed. And so I went into the dermatologist, and they took a look at it, and they said, well, we better biopsy this. Well, anyhow, they took the mole, and then they called me the very next day, and they found out that I had melanoma, which, if you're not familiar with that, that's like the worst possible thing you can have. Is skin cancer is what it is. And so it was definitely malignant melanoma, and luckily we had caught it at the very first stage. But here I am pregnant with my son, and here I have melanoma, and if I don't get it taken care of, it can kill me. And so I'm thinking in that moment, what's really important? Is it my job? Because I was going to just go in, get it removed, and then go right back to work that afternoon. Okay. I didn't think this through, because when they had to take it out, it wasn't, when they do, if anyone's ever had melanoma, it's not like they just, cut a little hole and it's gone and they remove it. They had to cut 4 inches long by 2 inches deep by 4 inches wide out of my arm. Okay. And I was pregnant, so they couldn't put me under anesthesia. They could only do localized painkillers with shots and stuff. So they numbed my whole arm, and so I was wide awake during this entire surgery. So it was scary. And yes, they did get it all. Praise God, they got it all. And I have not had the occurrence of any type of skin cancer since. But ever since that moment, I just remember thinking, we are all vulnerable. Every one of us. We are not guaranteed tomorrow. And many of you know that, but I'll tell you that you don't really know it until you realize that your life could end, and that your last breath you may not be able to experience your son. Okay, this is hard for me to talk about, but it's really, really important to me that you realize that you are here for a purpose, a much bigger purpose than just making a dime. And I hope that that influences you to see that. So what I'm suggesting to you is that every day when you get up, I don't care what you think your day is going to look like, you need to be thankful and show gratitude that you're breathing and that you're alive and that you have a purpose, or you wouldn't still be breathing and alive. Okay? And if you don't feel like you are living out your purpose right now, then you need to take steps immediately to change it, because life is so precious and so short. And if you don't see that, what's going to happen is one day you're going to wake up and you're going to realize that you only have a day or a year or less than that to live. And you're going to wonder what you did with your life. And I don't ever want to wonder what I did with my life. I want to take steps every day to make my life and those around me's life that much better. So for you, if you have habits that are killing you from being a success, and by success, I mean living out your true purpose, even if you don't know what your purpose is yet, if you're not happy right now, you're not living your purpose. Okay? Because if you're living your purpose, you are excited to get up in the morning. You are excited to do what you're doing. You realize, you may not know how it's going to work, but you know that you're in the right place because you get excited when you think about it. All right? So if that's you, then I encourage you to take steps to live out your purpose. If you're looking to find your purpose and you're not sure what it is, then reach out to me. I'd be happy to have a consultation with you. Just have a mentorship and talk to you and find out what your big vision is. And I can help you unearth that. I've done that a lot with other people. I tend to have a pretty good idea after talking with somebody as to where they should be focusing their attention. And for some of you, you may have the opposite, and that is you have so many talents that you don't know which one to go after. And I can tell you that I was one of those, because I have a lot of interests in a lot of different things. But I can tell you that there's a place for all of those. And when you start living out your purpose, all of those things, all of those facets to your life start coming together just like magic. Can't explain it. Like my martial arts school, I had no idea that I could incorporate that into my internet business. And I figured out a way to do that. So I just want you guys to know that I care about you. And if you're watching this Down and Dirty today, I hope that in some way it's motivated you to truly live out your purpose, get unstuck, follow those 6 habits that the billionaires use, because it's not just about making billions or millions of dollars. It's about creating a life of value and purpose. And I think that those 6 things that they listed all will help you to lead your life to one of purpose and happiness. All right, so I probably talked your ear off enough today. We're over my 30-minute mark, but I wish you all well. If you got value from this, comment below, and I look forward to seeing you next week on the Down and Dirty at 1:30 Central. Take care.